Stephon Gilmore now listed with a knee injury ahead of Sunday's game in Buffalo. Mariah, Janos, and Evan Lazar here to talk all about it. Evan, are you buying this knee issue, or do you think it's more related to trade speculation?
Yeah, well, Ian Rappaport of NFL Network did report that he has a minor knee issue. He did have an MRI yesterday just to make sure that it came back clean. So I think that there's something going on here. But if you remember earlier on in the season in training camp, Stephon Gilmore missed a few practices and people weren't really sure why, whether it was COVID related or injury related. And then a couple days went by and the Patriots all of a sudden announced that $5 million raise from Stephon Gilmore. And what do you know? He's on the practice field the next day. So I think that there's a little bit of gamesmanship certainly going on between both sides. The Patriots have been shopping and dangling Gilmore out there. I'm sure the player is not too thrilled about that. When you're a player, specifically in trade rumors, you can't control where you're going, right? So it's one thing to be a free agent and have the pick of the litter to decide which team you want to go to. I think Gilmore feels like the Patriots are just trying to cash in on an asset right now and doesn't feel like they really have his best interest at heart in terms of where his next steps are going to be. So if you're a player, obviously a team like maybe, Cincinnati or Cleveland or something like that could use a star cornerback. But if you're Stephon Gilmore, do you really want to go from the Capitol Grill to McDonald's? And I think that that's sort of what he's facing right now and the frustration that he has with this whole situation.
I love that comparison there. Now, say it is trade related. If they do sell Gilmore, what might the Patriots get in return?
Well, the rumors out there and what's kind of circulating is if you look at that Darius Slay deal from the Detroit Lions to the Eagles in the offseason, Slay is around the same age. Gilmore might be a little bit better of a player, but they're both within that elite upper echelon of man coverage corners. And Slay got I believe it was a second and a fifth. And that's sort of been the asking price, the barometer that the Patriots are going by and the league is going by with Gilmore. And obviously the Pats have him under contract for 2021, so his new team will as well. So it won't be until 2022 until they start talking about comp picks and things like that. So in order to get more earlier on, the best move for the Patriots, seeing that they're probably not going to sign a 31-year-old Gilmore at the end of next year to another contract extension or another deal, is to probably cash in, and the best way to cash in is to trade him when there's the most team control possible. So right now at the deadline or in the off season where a team's going to have a year and a half or a full season of Stephon Gilmore versus just 8 games come next year's deadline, for instance. So this is when they can get the most for him. It's very unlikely that they're going to re-sign him to another deal after this one. His days in New England are certainly numbered. So the writing is on the wall for this one, that this trade is coming, whether it's now before the deadline on Tuesday or in the off season come January, February, March. It's a bummer though, because he's been a really great Patriot, All-Pro twice, Defensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl champ, right on down the line. And I think that the way it's going to end is not necessarily going to be pretty for everybody, both in the media and Stephon Gilmore, in the way that this has kind of gone down here towards the end. So I hope we remember the good days, because he was one of Bill Belichick's best free agent signings of his tenure here with the Pats.
Absolutely. So not a matter of if, but a matter of when. For all of our Patriots coverage, head to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.